Welcome to K-12 Excellence Hub podcasts, brought to you by Alifa Education Services. I'm John Wong.
And I'm Sarah Chen. Today, we're diving into a major trend we're seeing across Southeast Asia. More and more families from Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam are sending their children to China for K-12 education.
You know, Sarah, the appeal is obvious at first glance.
Right.
The tuition at Chinese national curriculum schools is just a fraction of what you'd pay at an international school. But we're seeing a very troubling pattern emerge.
We absolutely are, John. Parents get so focused on that price tag that they completely skip the most crucial part.
Yeah.
The preparation. And honestly, that's setting their children up for failure, not for success.
So today, we are giving you the complete roadmap, because if there is one single message we want you to walk away with, it's this. Start preparing 2 years early or don't go at all.
Exactly. So let's start with what we call being China ready. This is the non-negotiable academic foundation your child needs before they even step foot in a Chinese classroom.
Okay.
It really breaks down into 3 essentials: Chinese, English, and math.
Chinese first, and let me be crystal clear. If your child is entering grade 7 or 8, they need HSK level 4 minimum, not HSK 3, not conversational Chinese.
HSK 4.
HSK 4. Why? Because they'll be learning history, science, and literature in Chinese, not just ordering noodles at lunch.
That's such a good point. And here's the first big mistake we see parents make.
What's that?
They think, well, my child is going to China, so we can just forget about English. That is completely wrong. English remains absolutely critical for university admissions, for scholarships, and for their future career.
Right.
Even one based in China.
That's right. Have your child take the IELTS test multiple times a year. Your target should be a 6.0 or higher. And listen, this isn't about passing a test once to check a box.
No.
This is about building real, sustained competency in academic reading, writing, and speaking.
Now for the third pillar, mathematics. This is your child's stepping stone to confidence. Chinese students are incredibly strong in math. And if your child can't keep pace, they will lose their confidence, and they'll lose it fast.
So get them into math competitions early. Local competitions, international ones, it doesn't matter. The goal is to build that analytical, problem-solving muscle. And for parents listening, we have detailed competition roadmaps at Alifa Education Services. We can guide you step by step based on your child's level.
So to recap, that's your China-ready foundation: HSK 4, IELTS 6.0, and math competition experience.
The essentials.
Without this, you are sending your child into a system where they will struggle from day one.
All right, so let's say your child is academically prepared. Now comes the next hurdle.
School selection.
School selection. And Sarah, this is where that cheap tuition can become a very expensive mistake.
It really can. The most critical question every single parent needs to ask is this.
What is it?
Does this school have a genuine, proven support system for international students? Will my child have transition classes and cultural support, or are they just going to be thrown directly into classes with native Chinese students?
Because if it's the latter, the pace will be completely overwhelming. You have to remember, Chinese students have been in this highly competitive system since kindergarten.
Right.
They absorb information at an incredible speed.
And when your child can't keep up, they become demotivated, they lose interest, their confidence just plummets. And that is the exact moment when that bargain tuition stops being a bargain.
This is why you must visit the school in person. Don't just rely on a glossy website. Check the school's profile. Is it a vocational high school in a remote village or a proper middle school in a Tier 2 city with a strong academic track record?
Yes.
Go there, see the classrooms, inspect the dormitories, talk to the staff directly.
Ask pointed questions about their counseling services, their academic support, and ask for specific examples of how they help international students adjust. And frankly, this is where working with consultants like us makes all the difference. We have been to these schools. We know which ones truly support international students and which ones are just collecting tuition fees.
Because at the end of the day, if your child falls behind, you haven't saved money.
No.
You've lost precious time and opportunity. That is the real cost.
Now, John, let's talk about something that's going to fundamentally change the entire landscape for international students.
Okay.
The CSCA, the China Scholastic Competency Assessments, launching in 2028.
This is massive. Right now, international students can get Chinese government scholarships mostly through school recommendations.
Yeah.
But starting in 2028, the China Scholarship Council is introducing standardized entrance exams.
The CSCA will test subjects like math, Chinese, physics, and chemistry, depending on your child's intended university major. And here's why this is a game changer.
Why?
Top universities will select students based on these exam results, not just on recommendations.
Some parents might think, that's fine, my child can just apply to an English-taught program. But the reality is that the English-taught undergraduate programs have far fewer options and are often of lower academic quality.
Exactly.
The best programs in engineering, medicine, computer science are all taught in Chinese.
So, when you're evaluating a high school in China, you need to ask them directly, are you CSCA ready?
Good question.
How are you preparing your students for these new exams? What is your track record for university placements?
Exactly. Because if the high school isn't preparing for this new reality, your child's path to a top university could be blocked. This is why that 2-year head start is so important. You're not just preparing for high school, you're preparing for university.
Let's bring this all together with a practical timeline.
Okay.
If you plan to send your child to China for grade 7 or 8, you must start this process when they are in grade 5 or 6.
Year 1 is your foundation. Intensive Chinese and HSK prep, starting IELTS training, and getting involved in math competitions.
Right.
At the same time, you're researching schools and talking to education consultants. Year 2 is about execution. Take and pass HSK4. Take the IELTS multiple times to show consistent progress. And most critically,
Yes?
visit your shortlisted schools with your child. Let them see the environment and meet the people. By the time your child leaves for China, they should feel confident and excited, not anxious and unprepared. That emotional state is the difference between success and struggle.
And please, throughout this process, don't try to navigate it alone.
It's too much.
At Alifa Education Services, we guide families through every step, from academic prep to school selection to understanding these new university pathways.
So here is your final checklist. 2 years of preparation, HSK4, IELTS 6.0, and math competition experience.
Yep.
Visit schools and demand to see their international student support. And make sure they are CSCA ready.
Cheap tuition means nothing if your child isn't prepared. But with the right planning and the right school, studying in China can be a truly transformational experience.
Reach out to us at Alifa Education Services. Let's create a personalized roadmap for your child's success. Because excellence requires preparation, and opportunity favors the ready.
I'm Sarah Chen.
And I'm John Wong. Remember, experience excellence, embrace opportunity.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. When we focus so much on preparing our children for a different country's education system, what essential parts of their own culture and identity should we make sure they don't leave behind?